Armored Warfare devs answer some of our questions, while World of Speed shows us the new way to win a race. Defiance launches its huge Silicon Valley expansion, and we learn a new reason to be excited for Cabal 2. What's happening, guys? This is James Balon with MMOHuts.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending August 11, 2014. And our first piece of news this week is an announcement from Masthead Studios that Guns and Robots is now available on Steam. And with that, the dev team released a new retrospection video, as they call it, that takes a look back over the past year, thanking its player for the support from beta all the way through the Steam greenlight and up to the initial release on Steam. With the release of the game, several updates were made based on player feedback. For example, free inventory slots were increased to 20 slots, and upgrading to 25 only cost 10 sparks, which is actual in-game cash currency. Not to mention, all daily missions now give sparks as rewards, and most achievements now give sparks as rewards as well. So it seems like this was an issue with the community, but it's nice to know that the devs were listening. Well, it looks like we're starting to see some pre-Gamescom info come in with some of the games that we're actually looking forward to, like Armored Warfare, for example. Obsidian Entertainment's project director posted a new video last week introducing Armored Warfare and answering community questions in the form of the game's first dev diary. Some of the questions asked and answered were things like, what nations are in the game and what vehicles are available? How realistic is the game, specifically the projectiles? And seeing that the game is built on the CryEngine, how is the weather going to affect gameplay?
The engine that we're using for Armored Warfare is that it's very good at rendering different types of weather. And so we've put a lot of work into taking advantage of that power in the engine. So that includes snowstorms, dust storms, rainstorms, thunder, lightning, and having all that be reflected in the environment.
The new video does a pretty good job providing answers to plenty of these questions. Plus, at the same time, we get to see some of the new gameplay footage we haven't seen before. Nothing wrong with that. And likewise, on a similar note, World of Speed shows off team racing in their latest trailer, where players can meet objectives to help determine the winner, instead of just plain racing. This game type is set up so that the winner isn't necessarily the first to cross the finish line, but rather the best team at drifting a curve, or the best team that can pull off some really skilled maneuvers, or the best team to try and prevent the opposing team from completing their objectives and have an overall better score. Either way, it's really cool to know that we've got a variety of playstyles already in the working in this game. It's not something we see a lot of when it comes to racing games, at least not in the free-to-play industry. Next up, it looks like some controversy and workups have been shuffled around in Transformers Universe recently. This past week, Jagex polled its players on their opinion of the death and repair mechanic in the game, stating concerns about players dropping from matches instead of switching bots due to their repair costs. Well, you might be able to guess the results on that one, but let's just say there's a new patch in the game now that eliminates the repair mechanic entirely from the game. Instead, players will be given the option to respawn at the map spawn point or return to the hangar, but will have all shield, spark, and power core systems still intact. And of course, a few other tweaks have been made in this patch, like the removal of the PvP auto queue. Thank goodness for that one. But the nice thing is this is another example of when the devs work with the community, and hopefully, overall, the outcome is good, and we see a lot more of that. Next up, it looks like we got a new expansion announced for Perfect World International, set to go live next week on August 19th. The new expansion for the classic game is called Chill of Lunesca, having players journey forth to Lunesca. Sounds like a medicine. A powerful new empire that dominates the beautiful frozen lands to the east. This will also build onto the guild-based PvP modes by adding the Territory Resource War, a weekly event, so guilds will no longer only fight for the rights of the lands, but will be able to continuously battle for its resources and riches as well. Plenty more information about the new expansion has been released, so head over to the MMOHuts site post from the link below for all the details. Also, from Perfect World Entertainment, we see the announcement of the next major expansion for Star Trek Online called Delta Rising. The new expansion takes captains to the Delta Quadrant and is set 30 years following the events of the Star Trek Voyager missions. This expansion claims to bring with it the first level cap increase in 4 years. Didn't know that, making the new level cap 60. The new level cap will allow players to acquire a completely new tier of ships, gear, and officers as they level their captains past level 50. As you might be able to tell from the video playing here, the new expansion was announced at the annual Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, so this one's a pretty big deal. PWE and Arc Games released a new trailer giving us a walkthrough/rundown of Neverwinter's newest module, Tyranny of Dragons, including a better glimpse at the new Dragonborn race, the Scourge Warlock, and of course the dangers of the Cult of the Dragon. From the new trailer you see playing here, it doesn't quite look like you'll ever run out of massive dragons to fight. I mean, we're talking more dragons than dragons profit. That's a lot of dragons. But, speaking of which, Sony Online Entertainment Live is happening in a few days, and we've already got a few news updates on PlanetSide 2 and DC Universe Online. With PlanetSide 2, SOE launched a new prestige/achievement system called Directives. Araxian soldiers can now look forward to multi-tier goals and rewards to show off their prowess. The new system includes a directive score, stat points earned through the directive tiers that have 5 per tier, and exclusive prestige weapons and appearance items. And naturally, new directives will be added in regularly. I'll be chatting with the PlanetSide 2 developers later on this week, so I'll try to get a little bit more insight. So DC Universe Online may be holding back on some of the secrets until later on this week, but they did just release their latest DLC, Halls of Power Part 1, letting players for the first time play with or against some of the iconic villains and heroes from the Fourth World, including Kali Bak, Mantis, Mr. Miracle, and Big Barda. This DLC brings in 5 new co-op multiplayer adventures, 2 8-player raids, 1 8-player operation, 1 4-player alert, and 1 4-player operation. Not to mention, 6 new skill points are fresh for the picking. The new content is available now for PC, PS3, and PS4, the usual price of $9.99. Well, I guess now that I think about it, it does seem to be a week full of expansion announcements. Defiance just put out a trailer for its Silicon Valley expansion that just recently launched. This new expansion adds in a huge extension to the already massive world map populated by Grid and Von Bach's Pilgrims of the Guiding Light cult. It adds in 5 new missions that have you explore the new terrain, dealing with new dynamic invasions, finding new synergies that tweak some of the gameplay buffs, such as the Way of Change, encouraging players to swap between melee and ranged attacks a little bit more, boosting damage to one when they use the other. It's a pretty big expansion, honestly, so head over to the MMOHuts site post for all the details. Rift also gets a major update this past week. Update 2.8 Madness Wakes introduces new story quests that act as a prelude for version 3.0 in the city of Tempest Bay. Players can explore the new 5-man dungeon Nightmare Coast at level 60, offering pretty nice rewards. Pyromancers, the auction house, inspect, action bars, and more are also updated with some significant changes to improve gameplay for everyone. Also with Trion Worlds, ArcAge is now through its second closed beta event, and they've already announced the third. Still needing a fresh key, the third closed beta event will begin this coming Thursday the 14th and run through Monday the 18th. And there's 2 really cool announcements to go along with this as well. Not only will we have keys at the MMOHuts giveaway section for you guys, but Trion is wanting to double the amount of invites to those who sign up on the website and increase the overall amount of servers, which was honestly kind of a problem before. So if you haven't gotten a chance to play the game just yet, your chances just got a lot better. We only have about a week left before Forsaken Masters expansion hits Path of Exile, and just this past week, Grinding Gear Games released 4 reveal trailers so far for the Forsaken Masters themselves, specializing in various aspects of the game. Vorichi, the Master of the Assassins, as an example, can offer a player guidance and their own hideout in exchange for specialized quests. So much new stuff is coming to this update, it's crazy, and you can upgrade crafting benches as you gain reputation with your chosen masters, and these new crafting benches will let you modify items in ways that you haven't been able to before. There are a lot of new skill gems and support gems, and it's also cool that they've revamped a lot of the existing content, making some of the boss fights even more intense. I'm pretty sure I know what I'll be playing on August 20th. Interesting news came in last week about Cabal 2. The North American branch of EST Soft has announced the game's support for Oculus Rift VR platform, becoming one of the first commercial MMORPGs to support the Oculus Rift, according to their PR anyway. The support for the Oculus Rift is for the Korean language version of the game, indicating that there isn't quite a westernized version available for testing, but I can say that this partnership might just spark what they need to get it west faster. Either way, it's just one more reason to want an Oculus Rift headset, and just one more reason to be excited for Cabal 2. And finally, for our last bit of news, Nuwa and Zeus get somewhat massive reworks in the most recent patch for Smite, especially Nude Wa, that's what we're calling her now, and her annoying to play against ulti that hurts you no matter where you are on the map, and not for a percentage of your health either. As you get towards late game, she starts dealing the damage. Okay, so I won't give her that much grief, just because, you know, like all new gods, they're going to be OP at first. There was another interesting new element added to the game in this patch, in the form of treasure chests. These you buy with gems, and you get a random reward, like a skin, but they're filled with exclusive rewards like skins that you might only be able to get at conventions. It's a cool idea, but it's kind of crazy that they're putting super rare skins in as your rewards. Might spark up some controversy. But anyway, guys, that's about all the MMO news and announcements for this week. I'll be headed out to Las Vegas for SOE Live. If you guys have any questions for the devs on any of the SOE games, ask away in the comments below, and I'll try to send them along. But like always, if you're looking for more information about the news featured in the recap, check the links in the description below. Otherwise, head over to MMOHuts.com/news for even more MMO news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below, or head over to MMOHuts.com/forums. Until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.